What's up, Cardfighters? Ryan here from Vanguard Central, bringing you guys a brand new Prism Stride deck profile. Starting with our grade 3s, we are running 4 copies of Prism Promise Labrador. This is the original Labrador for our grade 3. It's our secondary skill that really provides that pressure late game, where since you have like no counterblast and you have 5 counterblasts open, if let's say you have all prisms, then you get to bounce and pull off like a boatload of combos with Koro. And there's another grade 1 that we do have in here that I'm going to show you guys. And then also the Limit Break 4 comes in handy late game or even early game. If they say they rush you and you're at 4, you can just boom, 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 plus 10 and a crit and see what happens after that. Say they can't guard since it's still early in the game. And if not, late game also works if you know they don't have a PG. And then after we got 4 copies of Prism Image Vert. This deck doesn't really revolve around the break ride just because it's all about striding. Vert is honestly there just as a Prism stride fodder. Just in case he gets damaged, you have a Prism in the drop zone. Like if I had both cards in my hand, Labrador or Vert, I would probably ride Labrador first, and I'll just stride with Vert as a stride fodder. But I mean, say you have to sit on her, at least late game, if you do get the Labrador, you do get to pull off your break ride, which does help. Moving on to our grade 2s, we got 4 copies of the new Prism Promise Princess Celtic. Celtic is honestly like half MVP in this deck. I was a co-MVP in this deck. I'll show you the other MVP. It's a grade 1 in here. Super good. And so her skill provides so much pressure early game. Just because it's Vanguard or Rearguard, you can special counterblast a Prism when it hits a Vanguard, bounce another Rearguard, and then if you bounce something, you can draw a card. So not only do you get to have your Rearguard back to your hand, but you also get to draw one at the cost of only 1 counterblast. Like, it's so good. There's people who decide to sit at grade 2 against me when I have Celtic as my Vanguard, and it's like such a bad choice because having a 5k booster behind it, like Koro with their starter, it provides just enough where they have to put a 10k guard, or they want to pass it, or they have to overguard so they don't get it off. Or they just don't even think it, say no guard, it's like, okay, I'll draw, drive check, and bounce the card in my hand. That's 3 cards more in my hand. Like, it's not smart to sit on grade 2 against this unless they're running a 10k vanilla. Then we got 4 copies of Lumiere, the 12k hitter, just to provide, single attack that can hit the Vanguard by itself, and also late game when we have the Labrador stride out, it does hit for a bigger number. And then 3 copies of Ligurian, our 10k vanilla Prism. And like I said, we really like having Celtic as my Vanguard if I'm at 2, but let's say I don't get Celtic, at least I have a 10k vanilla that can get me some early defense, which is always nice. And also provides some nice numbers with the grade 1 lady who gives plus 4k, so it makes her hit for 14 against the grade 2 Vanguard, or hits for 21 with a 7k booster. Moving on to our grade 1s, we are running 4 copies of Prism Duo Aria. We're running just the regular perfect cards, not the unflipping ones, even though she is adorable with her SP foiling. If you guys don't know her, I think it's Kukuri or something like that. Anyways, we don't really counterblast a lot in this deck, so that's why there's no need for unflipping perfect cards. And also you can protect your rears if you want to against like the cross if you play it, or the Laurel, whatnot. But it's pretty much just there for the name, just in case she does get damage. And we are running 4 copies of Princess Lady, the new Prism Promise lady, because, let's see, she's super good. She provides your constant unflips for damage every time she's bounced, but the only thing is that she doesn't, you can't call her again normally. You can superior call her, say with like Labrador's Limit Break, or Olivia, the Stride, but other than that, still really good because it's a free Soul Charge one, unflipped one, and also, or a Counter Charge one, excuse me, and it gives plus 4k to another Rearguard. And I like that it's just the fact that you have to have a Prism Vanguard and not like you have to choose your Prism Rearguard. So it helps you out with, say you have a stride fodder on the field or something, I don't know. I was also going to tech in Amelia, see how she does, but anyways. And then we got 3 copies of the stride fodder, Shandy, just because you do want to stride a lot in this deck, just in case you don't have enough grade 3s in your hand. Another 3 stride fodders would be of really good help. And then, guys, our co-MVP Prism Duo Yarmouth, running her at 3 copies. I want to run 4, but there's no space, and 3 is just right. Because her skill, when another Bermuda Triangle is bounced from your hand, this unit gets plus 3k. Now let's just imagine the super combo that you can do with 5 open counterblast with Labrador, Koro, and any other Prism unit. Let's see, counterblast 1, bounce these 2, plus 6. Counterblast another one, plus 6. Counterblast another one, plus another 6. Like, it gets so big so fast. And then that's before swinging in with a 21k with crit, unboosted. Like, and you can stack all the crits on her, and she's providing such a ginormous boost. I don't know. I've won games with Yarmulke. I think one time, this game that I won, I threw her up to 62k. I think the whole column, not herself. So it was like, she was hitting for a pretty big number. I think it was 50, something like that. And then she had 12k hitter, and it was so big. That was really cool. But anyways, she is the call MVP, and I'm sure you guys can see why. And moving on to our triggers, we are running 8 crits. I'm running 3 different arts just because we want to fool your opponent to thinking that you're running 12 crits, but 4 of them being prisms because you want the special counterblast. 4 draw prisms, of course, and 4 prism heals. And look at her, who doesn't like cat girl? She's so cute. And our starter is going to be Prism Smile Koro. Now, I'm sure you guys know why we're running Koro. It's because she's so good early game, especially with Celtic. Say she's your Vanguard, and say you have like Yarmulke, you can combo these guys together. If you have something else, you got 2 Yarmulkes, you just... The Koro is so good because every time something else is bounced, you can bounce her back. And so, and say like you don't have any shield, if you're able to bounce her back to your hand, that's an additional 10k shield, which is always helpful. And moving on to our G zone, we got 4 copies of the new Prism Promise Princess Labrador. Labrador, I think, is a fantastic stride, only because I'm pretty heavy on rearguard oriented decks, except Novas and Aquas because I hate them. Sorry, no offense to all players, but too many attacks is too much for me. But I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite with the new prisms because they do get multiple attacks. Anyways, Labrador provides that rearguard power because it gives up to 2 units plus 5k, and at the end of the battle when they attack or boost, you can bounce them back to your hand. So let's just imagine you have the Yarmulke on this column, and you provide extra 5k to both sides. It forces opponent to guard. And where are you, Yarmulke? There you go. So you have this out. Let's go with, like, of course you have Koro. Let's say you bounced it, you make a new column, call it right there. And then you have, let's go with the Celtic. So you go ahead and flip, you give like power to, oops, sorry. Where are you? Like, there you go. Now this is like a magic column. And then you can just call anything else here, or whatever you want, to the front row. Use Labrador's skill. You give power to both these columns. Or if you say like you don't mind keeping her on the field, you give both power here. You go ahead and boo skill, attack, these get bounced, this one gets bounced. Or if you give the skill here, this gets bounced. Sorry, it's late. +5, and then bounce your hand, lady's skill, +4 here, Yarmulke, and then Koro combine, 3, 6, 9, like, it gets pretty big. It depends on your attack pattern. Usually I go Vanguard first, but it's all preference, I guess. And that's why we are running Labrador. And then we have 2 copies of Prism Duo Nectaria. Nectaria is there just for that extra pressure with an extra tax, because since we are running prisms, you're only going to be getting the prism skill off where you bounce something, call something else from your hand and gives +5k, or it can be the same card. So just to get that early game +4, I usually never go into her. I've only gone into her like one single pull-off for skill, but usually I go straight to Labrador because it doesn't require a generation break, which is really nice. And then we are running 1 copy of Legend of the Shoe Amaris, just to fix your columns, just in case you weren't able to bounce your regards the previous turn. And we're running 1 Snow Element Blizza, just for that last game push if you know your opponent doesn't have any perfect cards, but they do have quite a few cards in their hand to guard. So you want to go ahead and throw this out to really seal the deal. So anyways, guys, that is our take on the brand new Prism Stride deck profile. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Like our videos, comment below like I just said, and subscribe if you guys want to see some more. Vanguard Central, out.